in the 6th round made a major impact with over 100 total yards.
Let's go, Jerry.
One of my favorite offenses to watch on a week-by-week basis. I think the way that I'll describe it is they're making the simple look complicated to defenses. You go to earlier in the game, this is 22 personnel, 2 backs, 2 tight ends. And this is going to be just a counter to your back, Javonte Williams. You're not looking for home runs. You get down block, you pull the backside guard. This is going to be a good, efficient 6 or 7 yard run. But the backside is starting to really creep in and pay attention. Then you go to a couple plays later. Can we take that same thing, dress it up a little bit, and run a very different play? 2 backs, 2 tight ends. Motion, back off set. Now we're going to down block, pull the guard. Here comes that counter that we just ran just to the other. This is a simple play by the offense that looks complicated.
All right, Cowboys Nation, welcome back to Dallas Insider, the home for every heartbeat of this franchise, every rumor, every spark, every move that could change the future of America's team. And right now, there's a storm brewing on the NFL trade market, one that could open the door for the Dallas Cowboys to make a bold, calculated move to save their defense and bring balance back to this team. Let's get straight into it. We're now 5 weeks into the season, and the picture around the league is starting to shift. Teams are showing their hands. Some are all in, others are starting to sell. And just recently, a high-profile trade sent shockwaves through the AFC. The Cleveland Browns traded quarterback Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals. On the surface, that might sound like a simple quarterback shuffle, but here's where things get interesting. This move could indirectly open the door for Dallas to strike their own deal. Because when a team like Cleveland begins quietly moving veteran players, it usually means one thing. They're listening to calls. And the Cowboys, sitting in the bottom tier of the league in defensive EPA per play, absolutely need to be one of those teams dialing the phone. The biggest problem right now isn't effort, it's execution, and more specifically, linebacker play. This defense under coordinator Matt Eberflus has struggled to find its rhythm since losing Micah Parsons in that blockbuster offseason trade to Green Bay. The pass rush has moments, yes, but the middle of the field, the beating heart of any great defense, has looked thin, inconsistent, and at times completely overmatched. So here's where things get fascinating. The Browns have a player that could be the perfect fit for Dallas, a veteran linebacker who's quietly playing some of the best football of his career, Devin Bush. Let's talk about Bush for a second. This guy came into the league as a first-round pick out of Michigan, a sideline-to-sideline tackler with explosive instincts and raw power. His early career was derailed by injuries, yes, but now, in Cleveland, he's re-emerging as the player many scouts once projected him to be. Through the first 5 weeks of this season, he's recorded 36 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble. And according to Pro Football Focus, Bush ranks 8th out of 137 linebackers across the entire NFL. That's not just solid, that's elite production from a player who's proving he still has a lot left in the tank. And let's be honest, the Cowboys need exactly that. A proven, physical linebacker who can fill gaps in the run game, lead in the middle, and bring some swagger back to this defense. Because as it stands, Dallas has been rolling with Jack Sanborn and Kenneth Murray, players who've shown flashes, but neither has been the kind of consistent force you need anchoring a championship defense. Murray, once a first-rounder himself, hasn't lived up to expectations, and Sanborn, while tough, doesn't bring that sideline speed or instinctive awareness Bush does. Adding Bush would immediately stabilize this group, and the beauty of it all? He's on a 1-year, $3.25 million deal with only $2.9 million guaranteed. Financially, it's an easy fit. In terms trades, it's even simpler. Cleveland could probably be convinced to move him for a late-round pick swap, something like a 5th for 6th round flip. That's the definition of low risk, high reward. Now imagine this. Devin Bush behind Kenny Clark with James Houston off the edge. The same James Houston who's quietly leading the team with 3.5 sacks and outperforming Micah Parsons in that category so far. That trio would give the Cowboys what they've been missing since week 1: structure, aggression, and leadership in the front seven. And let's not overlook the larger context here. Cleveland is heading into a subtle rebuild. Their young linebacker, Carson Schwezinger, has been outstanding, a potential all-pro in the making. With that kind of emerging talent, Bush could become expendable. That's how these trade windows work. The perfect player becomes available not because he's unwanted, but because the timing aligns. This is where Jerry Jones and Brian Schottenheimer need to be bold. The offense right now is elite. Dak Prescott is orchestrating this system with complete command. Even with missing starters, he's making magic happen, spreading the ball around, keeping drives alive, and showing leadership that's silencing every critic. The offensive line is banged up but adapting, and Schottenheimer's play design has given Dallas one of the most balanced attacks in football. But for this team to be a true contender, the defense must match that intensity. You can't expect Dak to win shootouts every week. You can't keep relying on the offense to bail out the defense. If Dallas wants to make a playoff push, and believe me, they absolutely can, it starts by tightening up that middle level of the defense. Devin Bush is exactly that type of player. Disciplined, experienced, and hungry to prove himself again. He plays with that chip on his shoulder, that energy that the Dallas defense thrived on back in their dominant years. He's not flashy, but he's a worker. He brings toughness. He brings accountability. He's the kind of linebacker who can change the tone of a game with one hit or one key stop on third down. Think about the momentum a move like this would create in the locker room. It would send a message that the front office believes in this group, that they're not waiting around to see what happens. They're making things happen. That kind of aggression from Jerry Jones can energize a team heading into the second half of the season. And the timing couldn't be better. The Cowboys are entering a stretch of winnable games through October, matchups that can build momentum and set the stage for a serious playoff run. But every win counts, every possession matters, and every inch on defense could decide a season. Adding Bush before the trade deadline could be the difference between a good season and a special one. Let's not forget, this isn't the first time Dallas has gone looking for a defensive spark mid-season. We've seen Jerry and Stephen Jones pull off moves before, but this would be strategic, smart, and symbolic. It's about building a balanced, complete team. Look, Cowboys Nation, we know this team has heart. We've seen Dak lead with resilience, we've seen Schottenheimer breathe new life into the offense, and we've seen role players step up when stars went down. But every great team needs that one mid-season jolt to keep the fire burning, and Devin Bush could be that spark. So here's the bottom line. The trade market is open, the Browns are listening, and the Cowboys have the assets to make this happen. There's no reason to wait. The numbers make sense, the fit makes sense, the moment makes sense. Dallas has the chance to go from good to great, from surviving to contending. And this is how it starts. One smart, aggressive move at the right time. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Should Jerry Jones pick up the phone and make a move for Devin Bush? Would he be the missing piece that transforms this defense into a force again? Drop your thoughts below, because this conversation is just getting started. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Dallas Insider, and turn on notifications so you never miss breaking updates, trade news, and insider analysis around the league. Because this team, our team, is right on the edge of something big. And if the Cowboys make this move, the NFL better be ready. Because when Dallas fixes their defense, the balance of power shifts, and that star on the helmet shines just a little bit brighter.